Welcome to the Scholarship Guide for Busy Parents, Video 4. This video is designed to help you create your scholarship plan. You'll be able to take all you've learned from videos 1 through 3 and build a plan that will help you pursue scholarships for your students. Now, in order to help you build your plan, I put together the scholarship hierarchy. So we take all the different types of scholarships that you could pursue and we divided them into high priority, medium priority, and low priority. So the high priority activities are things that you should do almost no matter what. I think all families should do the high priority, and there's 4 items there. And then medium priority, another 4 ways to pursue scholarships. You should do if you have time, but they may not actually get done for some families. And then finally, low priority are activities that perhaps are even a waste of time, but certainly you would work on the other priorities first. So I put this hierarchy into the scholarship hierarchy checklist, and you can download this checklist when you sign up for the scholarship guide. So let's go ahead and jump into the high priority items. Number 1 is scholarships from the schools on your list. Now, we covered institutional scholarships in video 2, and that's primarily what we're talking about. Colleges offer need-based scholarships and merit-based scholarships. You need to understand which of those you may qualify for and go ahead and pursue them and apply for them. Now, on top of that, you could also change your school list because we can predict whether or not you might qualify for need-based aid or merit aid and which schools are more likely to give you that type of aid. So some advanced planning would be to find schools that will be generous for your student. Number 2 is federal grants. The primary federal grant is the federal Pell Grant, and the federal Pell Grant is very need-based. So once again, you need to understand how need-based aid works and do need-based aid planning where appropriate. But for many families, if you qualify for the Pell Grant, you need to pursue it and understand how it all works. Now, part of that process, you can use my SAI calculator to figure out how much need-based aid you might qualify for, and it also will tell you an estimate of how much Pell you'll qualify as well. So that can be found at tamingthehighcostofcollege.com/SAI. Number 3 is state grants and scholarships. When you sign up for the scholarship guide, there's actually a list of all 50 states and links to the websites where you can learn more information about your particular state. It's important to remember that some states are very generous and there's a lot of programs that you need to understand. And other states, of course, they just don't offer much aid at all. So depending on your state, you may find a lot of things that you need to be doing, or you may find that there's only limited availability and maybe you don't even qualify for what's there. So you need to follow the link in the resources. And of course, more information is in video 1 where we talk about state aid and how it works. So number 4 is programs targeted to low income and first generation students. So when we talk about low income, it is relative. So some states low income is very low and other states low income can be over $100,000. It just depends on the state and the various programs. But certainly if you qualify for other federal programs, things like free or reduced lunch at school or the SNAP program, then it's likely you'll qualify for some of the low income programs. And of course, there's also the first generation programs. And essentially a first generation student is a student that is attending college where their parents have not attended college. So they're essentially the first generation to attend college in their family. So there are programs offered by the colleges and states for that group as well. So how do we find these programs? Well, I think the best way to find them is to ask around. Ask your school counselors and principals at the high school what's available for your situation. You can also talk to the college reps that come to the high schools, or when you visit the colleges, you can talk with them. And then finally, the local community colleges would also have resources on first gen and low income programs. All right, so those are the high priority programs. For some families, you're only going to be able to pursue scholarships in the schools, and the other programs just aren't going to apply to you. But for some families, you may need to pursue all 4. So you need to understand each of the items and pursue them where appropriate. So next we have the medium priority pursuits. So these are 5 through 8, so these 4 items. Now, for these items, we have to remember that these scholarships are actually going to take some effort. You're going to have to spend some time finding the scholarships, applying to the scholarships, and then hopefully winning and then administering these scholarships. So these are above and beyond and may take some additional effort. And remember, we have the 5 strategies to turbocharge your scholarship search on Google, which may apply to most of these items. I also want to remind everybody to become a Scholarship Guide subscriber so you can receive all the Scholarship Guide resources. Remember, we've got this SAI estimator, the list of student exchanges and reciprocity agreements, the state resources website, the top 20 scholarship website, colleges that meet 100% of need, and finally the scholarship priority checklist. We also have a bonus video, 5 strategies to turbocharge your scholarship search on Google. So click the link in the description below to sign up for the scholarship resources. So now let's get back to the scholarship guide for busy parents. So number 5 is scholarships where mom and dad work. Now this item can go pretty quickly because for many of you the answer is there's nothing available, so we're done, there's nothing to look for. But occasionally you will find scholarships that are available to the children of a typical company's workers. So how do you find out if your companies are offering scholarships? Well, you go to HR, you look over the company's website. Sometimes there's an internal website that's only available to employees that explains your benefits, so you can look there. And then finally, you can just Google it, right? You can Google the name of your company, so looking for scholarships at GE for employees or something like that. And if you Google it, it may pop up as well. But after some quick searching and talking to your coworkers, etc., you may come to the conclusion that there is something, or perhaps you come to the conclusion that there's not. But again, it's a very quick pursuit for most families. Next, we have scholarships where the student works or volunteers. Again, it's a very short list. Most students only work at 1 or 2 places, if at all. Now, it's slightly different in that the student's actually the employee. So there are employers out there that offer scholarships or other education benefits to their employees. And it may make sense for your student to find that type of job on purpose and then take advantage of those benefits. But of course, you can continue and do the searches similar to what we talked about for parents. So next we have scholarships at the local level. Now, some of us may remember that there used to be scholarship drawer in the high school where you could go learn about the local corporations that were offering scholarships just in your town or just to your high school and that type of thing. Now, these type of scholarships still exist, but the scholarship drawer is typically gone. Most high schools have moved that online in some form. So there may be a Google Doc that you can get your hands on, or it might be on the website. Or you can do the Google search and you can look in the scholarship databases. But local level can mean a couple different things. It could be students at your particular high school. It could also perhaps be your whole school district, especially if you're in a larger city where there's multiple high schools in the same district. And then finally, you could just be searching for your city or town, or maybe even your county, in order to find scholarships that are very local and targeted to just your geographic area. And lastly, we have scholarships where your student excels or is unique. Now, we covered a lot of this in video 3, where we talked more about outside scholarships. We're looking for how your student might stand out. Maybe they're a black belt in judo, or they're a competitive at chess. We talked about the knitting scholarship in video 3. You could have a left-handed bowler, or maybe triplets or quads. So there's a lot of ways that your student might stand out. So they may qualify for scholarships where they excel or however they're unique. And again, this was covered in video 3. So that covers all the medium priority items. Now don't forget about the bonus video. The bonus video can help you search Google in order to find these types of scholarships. So next we have the low priority items. Now these are items that you may not pursue at all, or if you do pursue them, just understand that they could very well be a waste of time. So first we have scholarships where your student's not qualified or competitive. So let's say there's a scholarship out there where you need to have a 4.0 GPA. Now your student happens to have a 3.5. It's not very likely that your student will win. Now, of course, you can go ahead and apply and spend your time and effort, but in a lot of cases, you're better off pursuing scholarships where you are highly qualified and focus on those scholarships and do a really good job on those. And then finally, we have the generic scholarships from the internet. There's a lot of no essay scholarships and other scholarships out there that essentially are very easy to apply to. And the reality is a lot of those scholarships just never get awarded, or if they do, your odds are very, very low because they collect a lot of information from a lot of people and then ultimately only award one scholarship. And If there's no requirements, then everybody's qualified, so your odds of winning are pretty poor. I think generally that these types of items are a waste of time. Now, if you have time to waste, go ahead and pursue it. But otherwise, focus your efforts on the real scholarships in 1 through 8. All right, so that covers video 4, your scholarship plan. Remember, the scholarship priority checklist is available in the scholarship guide materials. So if you become a scholarship guide subscriber, we will send you a link and you'll be able to download this in a hard copy so you can work through it. Thanks for watching my videos. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, sign up for our newsletter, and stay in touch. That's all. We'll see you soon.